Starting. Okay. Now we know we are actually live. I come down to this public view. Okay, good. We do have a picture. I hit play on the public view. It'll take about 10 seconds, but then you should see. Yep. Once you get to this point, you can be confident you are good to go. And then you just carry on streaming. So now we'd be up, we're streaming, we're good. We just keep an eye on that system CPU, but as we learned at Waukee the other night, even when it's sitting up in the 90s, you can still, it's going to look a little choppier, there's going to be a lot of dropped frames, but you can still keep it running.
It's still there.
Yeah.
Which I think with Waukee, it's just because that our stuff is also running to the board,
Right.
which is running to the
because
TVs
we were
outside.
trying to split it into since we were feeding an entire output. Yeah, that'll crank up the CPU quite a bit.
Yes. Yeah, so now we just know that if we're gonna go to Waukee and we're going to do that again to
go down to 720 instead of trying to push a 1080.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it still worked fine.
Yeah,
it
it
great.
yeah.
It's just
And
you
it's just
just
a little
noticed that
choppy.
at some points it was just a little choppy, and it wasn't choppy like the whole way through. It's just like, okay, at some point you're gonna miss a couple frames. There's
Right.
a couple points where it looked where it was like you got about every other frame there for
Yeah.
a couple seconds, but it's not like it ever got like it froze on something and stayed there for an extended period of time. I actually really like that transition. I feel like if I was directing, I would use that a lot.
Yeah. So we've got that. What I want to use it for is for getting in and out of replays. We haven't really been doing replays. Part of that is because still kind of getting a flow together, and part of it is because we've had such high CPU, and replays will wreak havoc with your CPU. So as long as we're talking about replays, we can set up a replay. So you can go to replays and ISO. And for the most part, these should all be set up. You shouldn't have to set these up. I try and get these beforehand. So replay settings, our replays are going to default to 15 seconds in length. The replays will go to layer 3 automatically. And the template should be replay. So we can set the template to replay PNG. So whenever it records or creates a video down here, it's going to have that little replay bug on it. Then we go to our ISO. So the ISO is just going to be recording, let's say, that one, which I think is our high camera. I set them to record at a medium, so it doesn't totally tank us. Let's start replay, okay. So let's say we wanted to do replays, we're going. We hit this ISO. That's now triggered our recording. So we could hit either Shift R, should do it. If that doesn't do it the first time, we can hit that plus button. And now we see we've got replay down there. If I do Shift R.
You weren't kidding about the
Yeah, it hops it right up there.
because it went from being in the 60s to 95, like
Right.
that.
Because now what it's doing is not only are we streaming out, but
It's
it is
also
constantly recording off of this camera. So we've got a replay. We would clear our layers. Transition in.
get off of that replay sooner than that 15 seconds?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, you can trigger it whenever you want.
Okay.
So yeah, we're on. Live action.
Okay.
Yeah. Stop that ISO recording. Would you like to remove the replay recordings and all? Yes. Let's start that again. Let's record 1, 2, 3 replays. Okay. So we've got our replay. And it's a 15-second default, but it is 15 seconds back from where you hit create replay. So I usually kind of let things happen a little bit. Let's say someone just hit a crazy shot. I would kind of in my head count 1, 2, 3, then create my replay. So it's going to back up 15 seconds, which is nice because a lot of replays, you got to hit your in and your outs. This, you just have to hit an out point. All right, I want it to end here. Give me 15 seconds back. If you let a replay play all the way out, it's going to go black, and then it's just going to sit there, or it might try and transition to the last thing that Wirecast was on. It's just kind of one of those weird things. You can also stack them. So let's say we just had a bunch of replays. We're in halftime. We want to do like a highlight reel. If you move them over top of each other like that, it creates a playlist. And then you can just play that playlist.